for a second. I did a little bit of research on. In fact, it came up on Quora. I don't know if you're familiar with quora.com.
quora.com. Okay.
Pretty interesting website if you haven't ever been there.
Oh, yes, sir. I know what that is.
It came up, and the question was, is this the same as this? And the answer was not always.
Not always. Okay.
Not always. In other words, this is a trick we use algebraically, but it's not an identity. In other words, x and y can both be negative on the left. They cannot, either one of them, be negative on the right.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It given me a little bit of trouble. And it comes up in this problem because it's the same thing. You can't separate it out like I tried to do. Okay, let's go on.
All right.
Do not think we've done this one.
Okay. Let's see. S plus 9s is equal to. All right. So. Okay, so you do something for s. So A mod D.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward.
Yes, sir.
Hold on a second. Did I turn on my recording? Yeah, I did. Sorry. 38.
All right. Okay, so that's 0.
Okay, 39.
Wait, the line with the equation that crosses the x-axis at the point with the coordinates. Oh, okay. So that's going to be if y is 0. Okay, 2.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's what you do is just make y 0 and solve for x.
That's right.
Okay, one of the 4 trig questions that will be on the test. And trust me, there's none of them that's anything more than what you learned in the first week of trig.
Yes, sir. All right? What are all the options?
Oh, sorry.
And it was the tangent of A times the cosine of B. Okay, yes. Okay.
Tell me how you're doing. Also.
So the tangent of A is going to be 4 over 5. And the cosine of B, wait. The tangent of A is 4 over 3. The cosine of B is 4 over 5.
So what's their product?
So that makes 16 over 15.
Which is answer K.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the base. All right, so that's just 50s. Oh, wait, 3 miles in s minutes. So that's 3 times 50s. Wait a minute.
I'll answer D.
Hold on, Amy.
It's a little tricky, isn't it?
Pays how many miles? Okay, so 3 over
What
S.
method you're using to solve this?
Huh.
Here is a red flag. There's a variable in the problem, and every answer has that same variable. That is like a
Okay.
flag begging you to solve it by picking numbers. Whenever you see a problem like that, whether it's one variable or two variables, a lot of times you'll see two variables in the stem, and you'll also see two variables in all of the answers.
Okay.
It's only one variable, and it means that you can pick anything you want for S.
Okay.
Okay, so pick a number for S. What would be a good S to pick?
1.
The perfect S to pick.
Is that something that's going to just divide easily into
No?
150, or would it be 1?
Well, one is one way to go. You could definitely figure it out. Because if you let S, here, I'll start, S equal 1. Okay? And she can run 3 miles in 1 minute. How many miles is she going to run in 50 minutes?
150.
Okay. So now what we do is we assume S is 1, and we check all 5 answers to see which one is equal to 150.
That's right.
And it is number D. But notice it's also E. So there is a little bit of a flaw in this method of picking numbers. It's possible that you're going to have 2 different answers. And when that happens, go back and do exactly the same thing again, only pick a different S.
Okay. Is there an algorithm for
S to pick?
The perfect S to pick? Is this specific to this equation?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 50. Because we know she can run 3 miles in 50 minutes. How many miles can she run in 50 minutes? We know the answer is 3.
Okay.
Okay, so the answer has to be 3 when S is 50.
Okay.
Now again, you get that. You don't get that. You don't get that. You don't get that. And you do get that.
Huh.
So when we used S equal to 1, we got D and E. And we went back and we picked a different S, and we got A and E.
That's right.
So E has to be the correct answer.
Because it worked for both variables.
Both numbers that we picked for S.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this an easier way to do it? Maybe. You'll notice that we ended up with an answer that we didn't foresee. Neither one of us picked. I couldn't figure it out that it was E. It's a little bit of a tricky problem. But it absolutely is wonderful for picking numbers, even though in this case we have to actually try 2 different numbers and put the answers together.
Yes, sir.
I suppose we could have picked a multiple of 50. In other words, I could have picked S equal 5, in which case she would run, the answer would have to be 30, right?
That's right.
Okay, now if we plug that in, 5, it eliminates A. It eliminates B. It eliminates C.
And D.
And D. So it turns out that if you happen to pick an S of 5, you get it the first time through. This is kind of a
Okay.
rare problem that you can actually pick two different numbers and get two answers with both of them. That's an oddity. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. But even with that, it works because you put both answers together with each other and it narrows it down to one answer.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me, yeah, for some reason, let me reopen this page. It didn't want to let me open my cursor tool. Let's see if it, I want to do 42. Yeah, we're good to go now.
J.
Okay. You see all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Maybe 16. Okay.
I'm going to draw a picture,
That's
which
right.
is what you should be doing.
That's right.
Okay. What kind of triangle is this?
30, 60, 90 right triangle.
Okay. So let's draw a picture like that. We'll make this the 30, make that the 60, that's the 90, and we're going to label it. Angle A is 30, so that has to be A. This has to be B, this has to be C. We're looking for, let's see, they've told us that this is 16.
I got C as the answer.
Okay, let me think about this for a moment. The similarity ratio is 8 to 1, correct? So this has to be 1 or 8. And this has to be 8 root 3. Am I right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
And then the area is 1/2 the base times the height. (32 root 3). That's what you said. Okay. We're definitely getting into the area of the test where the problems are going to get harder. We're
That's
in the
right.
difficult section at this point.
Okay, I'm going to say F.
Why?
Because the slope is perpendicular and the y-intercept is 3.
Yeah, actually,
It's
the only thing you need to see is it's the only one that has a negative 1/2 slope. I don't
That's
even
right.
need to look at the y-intercept.
Yes, sir.
And it maybe saves you 10 seconds. I don't know how long it took you to do it, but yeah, but you'll notice with the one thing we know for sure is the slope is minus 1/2, and they only have one answer that has that. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, 45. Again, I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture,
Yes, sir.
which is what you should be doing.
That's right. I get C.
So how'd you do it?
Yes, sir. I'm tripled the length, which was originally 2x and got 6x.
Okay, so actually the first step is to label our smaller rectangle.
That's right. Label it.
There. Now we're in business. We do need to introduce that variable.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you're correct. The area, let's see, the length is tripled, so this becomes 6x. And the width is doubled, so it becomes 2x. So that is 12x squared, and this is 2x squared. So it's 6 times, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on. There you go. Sorry, this one's a little blurry.
All right.
On these harder ones, go ahead and work me through your analysis because I don't know what the right answer is, and I have to work through it anyway.
All right. Let's see.
There's one of these on every test. In fact, there's one of these on every SAT test also.
All right. So if it's an infinite number of solutions, it would have to be the same equation, and we can find a value of z which will produce the same equation, which would be 3 times 108. So we can just divide that by 9, and we get 36.
Very good. 47.
How many prime numbers?
List them. I will write. Hold on a second. I will write them as you list them.
Okay. 57.
Let's start at the bottom, if you would. Just because I prefer to go left to right on the line scale or whatever.
Oh, that's right. It was reading the other way. Okay. So 37.
No, there's nothing wrong with doing it the way you were doing it. It's just not the way my mind thinks.
Oh, I was doing it wrong.
Well, not wrong. There's nothing wrong with starting at 54 and going down. That's fine.
All right, so 37, 41. Is that one? Yes. 43. 47. No, 51 is not prime. 53 is.
Okay. 49 is not. That's 7 squared. And 51 is not. You correctly got that. So that's 5 numbers.
Is that
correct? Well, if somebody had a gun up to your head and said, are you willing to bet your life on this? At a minimum, I would look at those 5 numbers and see if I can find any factors at all. Are there any factors to that one? No, there aren't. Are there any factors to that one? No, there aren't. Same thing with that. Same thing with that. Same thing with that. Now, the one that most people will miss is 51, which is 17 times 3. Those are the only factors of 51. So it's really easy to make the mistake and put 51 on the list. But you didn't do it. So you're fine. I don't think you would need to spend the time checking all of the other numbers first, but I would definitely check the 5 that you came up with. Just recheck each one of them and look at it and make sure you can't think of any factors for any of them. So, yeah, it's that. And it definitely, of course, it doesn't matter really whether it includes 36 and 54 because neither one of those is prime. So, and it said between anyway, so it's not that. You wouldn't include those.
Yes, sir.
Now let's see. I can't quite fit all the answers in here. Let's not look at the answers for a moment anyway.
All right.
How are we going to do this problem? This is probably the toughest trig problem you're going to find on the test.
Okay.
I rarely see anything that's this difficult. Probably shouldn't have said anything. Because it's not really that hard.
Okay. So they have a diagram, and they have angle A labeled right here. So if the tangent of A is x and y, that's x and that's y. That's right. And A is, what is the sine of A?
Here, let me show you all the answers, just so you get an idea of what they're looking for. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. So what's the first step here?
Label the graph.
Yeah, label that triangle. Try to put it dimensions on that triangle.
That's right.
What can I do?
So we can label the side opposite A as x and the side adjacent A as y.
Now what's the hypotenuse?
So x squared plus y squared. The square root of x squared.
Square root of x squared plus y squared. And now what's the sine of A?
So the sine of A is going to be x over the square root of x squared plus y squared.
Which is h.
Okay.
Number 49.
Graph to show how she spends her time during a 24-hour day. Size the sector representing each activity is proportional to the activities. This piano for 1.5 hours. How many degrees should the central angle? Okay, so that's That's 22B. That's 22.5 degrees.
Okay, that sounds right. How'd you do it?
Yes, sir. I divided 1.5 by 24 and multiplied that by 360.
There's the proportion.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what you did. You multiplied by the 360 and it solves for that. Okay. Good.
All right. Points A, B, and C lie on the same line. If the length of AB is 9 meters and the length of BC is 11 meters, then what are all the possible lengths in meters for AC? Okay, so we have 20. We could have 2. Hold on. So let's see different ways that we could arrange this.
Yeah, exactly. You're on the right track. Let me go ahead and arrange it one way. Helps a little bit, I think.
Okay, so yes, 2 is an option.
Then it would be this.
That's right.
Okay. So 20 is definitely an answer.
Of course.
What's another
2
way
is
to be arranged?
You could put A in between B and C. In which case the answer would be 2.
Okay. So we definitely lose that one. We lose that one. So far, it's H, J, or K.
That's right.
It's another way we could arrange it.
Is there another way that we can arrange it?
Here, let's look at it as kind of a combination accounting problem. There's one way.
Okay.
There's another way.
So we have 6 ways that we could do this.
So, yeah. But some of them aren't going to be possible
That's right.
because they won't make the thing make sense. Let's see if we can figure. What do we got? We got an ABC. So we've done that one works, and we've done BAC works. Could you do ACB, where that's A, that's C, and that's B? Now, BC has got to be bigger than AB, so you can't do that one. So we'll cross out that one. Could you do BCA? Whoops. Again, BC is longer than AC, so that one doesn't work.
Okay.
Here, let me use my, I'm not sure we need to keep going, but you would if you had 10 minutes and you were done with the test, I would take it to this extent, I think. Can you do CAB? Again, BC is 11, AB is 9. Yes, you could. And you get 2 or 20.
That's right.
And could you do CBA? Again, BC is 11. I don't think you can do that one.
Okay.
So we've done the only 3 we could do, and the only answers we got were 2 or 20. So I'm inclined to think that has to be the answer.
I think so.
I'm just want to look any number less than 2 or greater than 20.
Hmm.
Well, A, B, and C lie along the same line. So here that's 9, and that's 11. No, it's got to only just be 2 or 20. And I don't see how J or K can possibly work.
I think so.
So H.
Yes, sir.
Let's check it. Let's see. Hold on a second. No, we got one more on this page. Yeah, let's check it. 50 H.
All right.
Okay. 51.
Okay.
Obviously, if speed was a factor on that previous problem, let's say you didn't have 5 minutes to give to the problem, you only had 30 seconds, then I think you got to go with 2 or 20 only once you've just tested a couple of combinations. Once you've found a 2 and once you found a 20, I would go with that if speed was a factor. Because it's not F or G, right?
That's right.
At least you got a 1/3 chance of being right by going with H. Anyway, yeah, I'm about 51. There, shows enough of
it. All right. And the figure shown in this numerical circle with the center.
First thing I'm going to do is label it with all of the available information.
Okay.
And work me through your logic here, because there's a number of ways you could go.
Is there a formula to do this? Because if there is, I can't remember it.
Yeah. What's the full circumference of the circle if I were to draw this full thing?
So the full circumference is 2 pi r.
Well, what do you know about the circumference? What portion of it is equal to 6 pi?
So that's going to be 1/12.
Aha. So what's the circumference of the circle?
That is 72 pi.
Okay. We know that that's equal to 2 pi r. So we have
right.
2 pi r equals 72 pi. So r is 36.
Yes.
And now the area of a circle is equal to what?
Now the area of the circle is equal to, so 36 squared times pi, that is 1,296 pi. And 1/12 of that is 108 pi.
Yeah, once you divide that by 12, you don't need a calculator any longer. That's got to be the answer. Now, I did it the Geometry 101 way.
Okay.
There is, in other words, where they give us enough information that we can figure out the circumference of the full circle. And then you just have to work out what the radius is and then use the area function to figure out the area of the sector and then multiply by 1/12. There was a lot of machinations there that we had to do. There is actually a formula from trig where the area of a sector is this thing in radians. So 30 times pi over 180, that puts it in radians, times the radius. And that doesn't really help. In other words, I don't really see a way of doing it other than the way we did it. That is a true statement, but that we can't figure out the radius immediately from that. So I think the only way to do this problem is the way we did it the first time.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Okay. 52.
Okay. Okay, so it's not F.
Good. I like. Okay. Why not? Because if they were both greater than 0, the left side would be a positive number. Right? In other words, that cannot be true. Oh, or it says A is less than 0 and B is less than 0. Well, if that were true, that would still be a positive number. So, okay, cannot be F. Still there, Garrison? Did I lose the audio? I think I did.
I got G.
I had lost the audio for a moment, and I didn't hear you respond at all. Did you come up with
Okay.
the answer?
Yes, sir. I got G. Sorry about that. Something happened with the audio. It disconnected.
Yeah. If A and B are opposite signs, then that's going to be a negative number. And
Okay.
that's what G says, is that A and B are opposite signs. Now, you have to wonder if A is equal to B.
Okay.
That cannot be. In other words, if you let one equal to 3 and the other one equal to 3, you have a positive number on the left. If you let one equal to negative 3 and the other equal to negative 3, you still have a positive number on the left. So A
Yes,
is
sir.
not equal to B either. And I don't think we need to go any further. Once you prove that that's not true for sure, there's no way. We've already seen that that doesn't have to be true, and that doesn't have to be true either. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just checking the time. I didn't want to run over. Number 53.
Press 5 days. C.
Okay, how'd you do?
7, 10, 13, 16, and 19, and the sum of those.
Oh.
Is there an algorithm to doing it?
No, I didn't realize that this was easier said than done. And so you just added those up. It's as simple
Yes,
as
sir.
that. Yeah. Okay. That's correct. I was ignoring some of the information when I was first looking at it.
Smallest possible value for the product of two real numbers that differ by 8. Real numbers that differ by 8. Okay.
What's a good way to do this?
Would it be to back solve and pick numbers?
Where are you going to start?
Either 6 or -4. Is that
No,
right?
not in this case. Only in this case where it says the smallest possible value.
Okay, so
So
that
we
would
have
be
to start with the smallest value. If that one
so.
works, we're done, right?
That's right.
If it doesn't,
So
we just work our way back. So what's the smallest value?
-16.
Okay. Can you find two numbers? Let's see. What's the smallest possible value for the product of two real numbers that differ by 8? Hold on. Let me back up. I think I might have made a mistake. Yeah, you can't do it this way, I don't believe.
I think it might be -16.
Oh, it might be. I think that's the wrong approach. Smallest
Okay.
possible value for the product of two real numbers, the product that differ by 8. Well, yeah, that's got to be 4 and -4, doesn't it?
That's right.
And in fact, this follows the same principle as what's the maximum area of a four-sided figure? It's a square.
That's right.
Things that are circular or regular polygons or squares, those are always maximums and minimums. So
Okay.
when I look at my line curve here, and I'm looking for two numbers that differ by 8, I'm going to start as close as I can to 0.
Okay.
Those differ by 8, and they also produce the smallest number, minus 16, I think. Let's see what happens if I move it to the right and use minus 2 to 6. Well, those differ by 8, but it gives us minus 12. So we're not making it go smaller any. And if I were to go the other direction, in other words, use minus 6, that would force me to use 2, again, minus 12. So getting away from perfect balance around the 0 point is making our number get bigger.
Yes, sir.
Now, there's probably an algebraic way to solve this using x and y, but I'm not sure that's the best way to do it. I think this might be. You just kind of picture the number line and move one way or the other and see what happens to the product. All right. Whoops, hold on. Hopefully I didn't lose my, no, I still have this. Question is, it's got to be this last page. I think that was 54. No, hold on. I think I skipped a page, which I don't want to do for sure. Yeah. Okay. 55.
All right.
How am I going to do it? This is like the quintessential trig problem.
Would you want to make a draw a graph? Not
Draw
a diagram?
right triangle.
Draw
Not
a
just
right
a
triangle?
graph, but draw a right triangle.
Yes, sir.
And label x.
That's right.
So I'm always labeling it down there. You can label either of the acute angles as x. Now what's the next step?
Label the cosine. So the side adjacent
label
x.
2 out of the 3 sides of that triangle. In other words,
That's
this gives you enough information to label 2 out of the 3 sides. So which one can I label?
You're going to label the side adjacent to x as 4 and the hypotenuse as 5.
Now figure out the third side.
And the third side is 3.
Now what's the sign of x?
A.
Yeah. And they might ask you all 6 trig functions, any or. And they probably don't touch cotangent, cosecant, or secant. I've never seen a problem yet, I don't think, that uses anything but sine, cosine, and tangent. But this step where you draw the right triangle, you label the angle, and you start dimensioning it, that's the key step. We saw this in a previous problem already.
All right.
Hold on.
Every dollar decrease in price of some books, bookstore sells 1,200 more sets of books per month. The bookstore normally sells 1,750 sets per month at $9. Okay, so it doesn't change the cost. Wait a minute. Okay, so if it decreases by x, so that's 9.5 minus x, that's going to be the cost, and it for each set of, okay, I think it's H.
Okay. I don't know which it is, but I'm looking where I've got a variable in my question and I have a variable in all 5 answers. So what's a great way to do this problem?
That would be to back solve.
No, not back solve. Pick numbers.
No, that's right.
Pick a number for x.
All right, let's pick 1. Is 1 good?
For every dollar increase, yeah, why not? That's a simple number. And you know what? Let me change that answer. I give ACT presentations, and one of the things they always suggest is that you don't use 0 or 1.
Okay.
Don't use 0 or 1. Those two numbers have unique math properties that most other numbers don't. You cannot divide by 0, and the reciprocal of 1 is 1.
Okay.
So try to, when you're picking numbers, pick small numbers for sure, but don't pick 1. So let's try 2.
Okay, 2.
Okay.
So,
let's see. The bookstore normally sells 1,750 sets at $9.50 per set. What income is that?
So that is, let me get my calculator.
This is their normal income.
That is going to be 16,625.
Okay. And we're going to reduce the cost by $2.
All right.
So we're going to sell it for $7.50 per set of books, right? With an extra 2. And we sell 1,200 more sets per month for every dollar.
So that's 2,400.
We're going to sell
2,400.
Okay, so our answer is 1,200 times 750 plus 2,400 times 750. Am I right? I think.
Yes.
Okay,
I think
let's put a number on that.
Wait a minute. Would it be?
We're going to sell our normal 1,200 sets, and then we're going to. Oh, hold on. No, I did the math wrong. This is 1,750.
Yes.
So we need 1,750 times 750.
Okay.
Plus 2,400 times 750.
Not do that right. Let's see. Times 750 plus
What do we get?
Okay. I get 31,125.
Okay, assuming we haven't made a math error. Now what we have to do is go over to the left, all 5 answers, substitute 2 for x until we get that answer.
All right.
2,400 plus 1,750, that does not give us that answer.
That's right.
That does not give us that answer. Here we have 750 times 1,750 plus 2,400. I don't think that gives us the answer. Right? That's much. I think that's too big of a number. That's 4,000. No, maybe that is it. What is that number? 4,150 times 750. That could be 31,125.
4,150 times 750. That is.
Okay. Now, because we're picking numbers, we have to check all 5 answers if you have time. If you don't have time, then just go with H. Your instincts were pretty good on H being the right answer. My mind doesn't, these always complicate me, or are pretty complicated to me, and the one way that I know I can get it is by picking numbers.
Okay.
And then I'm certain of it. Now, there's no way J is that, 2,400 plus $9.50, and there's no way K is that. So we really found only one answer that was equal to 31,125. We go with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the way you were probably the way your brain was working, that you came up with H, is just you're able to assimilate that information and translate it into an expression, an algebraic expression.
Yes, sir.
I don't trust myself enough to do that. If that was the only method I had, I might come up with it. But because I can use this other method, and the other method tells me for certain whether I'm right or wrong. All right. Oh, this one looks good. Yeah.
Game 45 marbles, numbered 0, 0.
Just look at our answers for a moment.
Okay.
I don't think the answers are really going to help you here. They might, but let's see if we can deal with it first. You can see enough of the answers that
45, that is the sum of marble 1 and marble 2 exceeds 45. The player is a winner. The first marble Martin draws, number 17. What is the probability that Martin will be a winner on the next draw? Okay, so if he draws 17, that means that there are 44 marbles left. So 44 is going to be the... So if he draws a 17, there are 44 marbles left, and it has to be greater than 45.
So we'll call that X.
So it at least has to be 28. It at least has to be 28, and that means that we have 45 minus...
Has to be greater than or equal to 28?
It has to be greater than or equal to 28. Well, wait, does it have to be greater than 45?
No.
Okay.
Let's see.
So it is greater than...
Of a sum greater than 45, the player is a winner. Don't we want 17 plus X has to be greater than 45? Isn't that one of our equations? If X is the probability, now hold on a second. X is the number on the second marble. That's what X is. X equals the number on second marble.
That's right.
So this is definitely true, right?
That's right.
Okay. Solve that for X. Solve that for X. X has to be what?
X has to be 28. X has to be greater than 28.
Okay. Now, there's 44 marbles left.
That's right.
How many of them are greater than 28?
16.
Let's see, 29. I think maybe only 50. Because the highest number marble is 44.
That's right. It's 15.
So probability that he'll be a winner on his next roll should be 15 over 44.
Is that an option?
No. What am I doing here? Let me think about this for a second here. You know X has to be 28 or greater than 28. So his possible numbers are that through 44, correct?
That's right.
That is 16 numbers.
So it is 16.
Yeah. So it's 16 over 44, which is the same as
4 over 11.
over 11. Now, let's talk about this problem that we both missed the answer on. And it's easy to miss it up because usually when you have these numbers, 29 through 44, you just subtract them. But
Okay.
not if you're including both numbers. You need to subtract them and add 1. Are you familiar with a spreadsheet?
Yes, sir.
You ever
Somewhat.
worked with a spreadsheet?
Yes, sir. Occasionally.
How many rows are between 5 and 17, including both rows?
Including 5.
Let's make it easy. Let's make it between 5 and 7. How many rows are there from 5 to 7, including 5 and 7?
4.
Those 3. There's 5, 6, and 7.
Oh.
And the way I get it is I subtract those and add 1.
Okay.
Same thing with how many numbers are there between 29 and 44, including 29 and 44. You subtract them and add 1. So that's how you come up with 16.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that's a good place to stop, I suppose. Well, hold on a second. Yeah, let me make sure here I can remember this. Yeah, that's the last one on this page. So we only have one more page on test 1. We can both remember that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we'll pick up from there. And then we'll go to test 2, and we won't start at the beginning. When are you taking this test, Garrison?
Yes, sir. I think it's July 14th.
Okay, so we're going to have another couple sessions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we don't need to do the first 20 questions probably. You're good enough at math that we can work on all the medium and the hard ones.
Yes, sir.
I think that'd be in your best interest in terms of practicing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good day.
You too.